the ChromaGun patent pending that you've heard so much about. Okay, we're kidding. Of course you haven't heard about it. We here at Chromatech know how to keep secrets, and so should you.
Science fiction puzzle titles have seen a warm welcome in the VR marketplace, and many of us continue to wait with high hopes for a game the likes of Portal, or Portal itself. It's the hope for a truly unique and unforgettable puzzle experience that we're all after, as VR puzzle titles further saturate the market. This takes me right into my review of ChromaGun VR by Pixelmaniacs. ChromaGun VR puts you in a Chromatech testing facility, testing the state-of-the-art military-grade color technology, the ChromaGun. Let's walk through some details. ChromaGun VR offers a simple puzzle mechanic that most will find just challenging enough to keep them moving from one puzzle to the next. Your ChromaGun is the paintball of your dreams, as you lob large blots of paint at panels and droids, altering their color instantly. Each room requires you to match the color of panels and droids, attracting the droids to their like-colored surfaces, triggering a panel connected to the door you'll need to open. It's a simple process, but can be quite rewarding, and solving the puzzles never feels out of reach. One of the things I loved about ChromaGun was the use of the coloring system, blending blue and red to make purple, yellow and blue to make green, and so forth. It's a nice addition to the puzzle-solving structure and adds a gradual increase in difficulty, especially when having to balance a droid's direction between multiple points. Another thing I enjoyed was your controller configuration in regards to operating your ChromaGun. It's simple, but honestly it adds a very unique aspect to solving each puzzle, as I often found myself in a pickle when pressing the wrong button to switch to my desired color. The last thing I'll say here is that the game does a great job of laughing at itself. There's hardly any story, but what ChromaGun does offer is a mild-mannered but humorous narration in the test facility that will chime in every now and again to give you a good chuckle. While there really are some great qualities to this sci-fi puzzle solver, I had a hard time really getting into it. For starters, the pace of ChromaGun feels very slow. I noticed this almost immediately as I walked past the welcome desk to the testing area, which was a rather long hallway. This wouldn't be any kind of an issue, however the game only offers a crawl-like walking pace, with no option for a sprint or faster movement. From there, each area is anywhere from 2 to 3 puzzle rooms long, and after each area, you enter a stairwell that leads you to a loading screen. You will see this screen quite a bit, especially in the beginning as these puzzles are simple in nature. The good news is loading times are relatively short, but I have to admit, playing through the beginning was a bit discouraging as I felt as though I spent just as much time in a loading screen as I did in a puzzle. The last issue I want to say here is simply the environments. These simple padded white rooms are intriguing to start, but the variation is relatively minimal, leaving little change between one room to the next and began to feel repetitive really quick. And just for a bit of clarity, the test rooms and the use of an experimental gun seem to be the only correlation to the infamous Portal, which I have to admit may be a bit misleading for anyone who may not know what to expect. As always, I played this title on a base model PS4, and honestly, ChromaGun is just okay when it comes to visuals. For starters, there isn't much variation or contrast in the game's environments to begin with, so it's difficult to say where this could go. The copy-paste walls, doors, floors, textures, colors, etc. offer very little visual variation. When considering the simplicity of the textures and environments used, it's hard not to question why ChromaGun wasn't incredibly sharp. Again, we have to look back at games like Red Matter, a much more environmentally expansive title with a variety in textures and objects that far supersede what is present in ChromaGun. I will say that playing ChromaGun in VR seems like the best way to enjoy this title, as the atmosphere of being placed in a test chamber using a military-grade paintball gun feels all the more real. And while on one hand I'm glad that ChromaGun made the decidedly wise decision to include aim support for this title, I wouldn't say it's necessary for this one. If you have an aim, great, it's probably the best way to play. But if you don't, I wouldn't kick yourself on this one, as this experience is not an aim necessity in my book. Overall, ChromaGun is decent. It has some simple but great puzzle mechanics, well-placed humor, and stands as a fair addition to the puzzle game library on the PSVR. If the gameplay looks like something you would enjoy, you may want to give it a go. But if you're well stocked on some of PSVR's great puzzle game experiences, you might want to wait on a sale for this one.